Beaters. 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 Hey guys, we've been talking about car projects lately, and I thought today we would have a look at what we call beaters, or some people call them drivers. Cars that are not necessarily meant to be put to excellent condition and just enjoyed, in a usable condition. So, are beaters better, and what makes a better beater? Well, let's have a lookie. For the purposes of today's video, we should try and decide what a beater really is, and I guess let's use the definition of a car that is safe and drivable and, roadworthy, but not necessarily a showpiece. Something like this is a completely roadworthy car and obviously not restored, obviously cosmetically pretty rough, but ready, I suppose. Wouldn't really automatically think of a Model T as a beater, but in this case I think the description fits pretty well. Ditto this old Dodge. The goal here is not to restore this car, but rather to put it into a roadworthy condition and enjoy it as is, and I think that there's a lot to be said for that. And let's talk about how you can go about that. As an example, let's talk about this DS here. At first glance, a pretty presentable car, and that's kind of the idea. This was a very, very rusty car that was still running well and functioning reasonably well, and I was going to use this for parts, and I thought, what if we made a beater out of it? So that's what we did. I built this car in 30 days. It's got a lot of patchy repairs in it. None of this is done to a show quality standard, but it is all safe and roadworthy. If you're going into a project with the idea of making it a driver, then you can really chop the hours way down by not getting fanatical about the bodywork and stuff. Rather just make it functional and make it safe and make it watertight. This is a car that is put together out of various parts cars and stuff. You can actually see that it didn't paint inside the doors. Some people have gotten the impression that this is a restored car, but it is not. This is a beater, and as such, I've been enjoying this car for 12 years, and it gives very little trouble, and I don't worry about it. This thing goes down gravel roads, it goes to the lumber yard, it goes to the junkyard, it gets driven in the rain, it gets, it doesn't get driven in the winter because of the salt, but other than that, a lot more fun than an unfinished restoration. I will say that for sure. This traction avant behind it, this will also be restored to driver/beater condition. To restore this car properly, pretty gigantic undertaking, and why not knock a couple of zeros off the hours and just make it roadworthy and enjoy it the way it is. It is never going to be a particularly great example, and these big familial bodies are not really the most desirable, so it would probably be unwise to spend 1,000 or 2 hours putting this car back to perfect condition for it to be only less usable and less fun than it would be as a beater. We talked about last week nice original cars as a starting point, and here's a case where we started with a nice original car that needed some cosmetics and some light mechanical work, and there we go. Great beater, never gonna give trouble, never gonna be worth a ton of money, then that's not the point. It's just a lot of fun to have. This old Dodge Brothers sedan, there's not a lot of homes for these kind of cars, and so embarking on a 10-year restoration of a not particularly desirable car would be ill-advised. So here's another one that's just going to make a fantastic beater, but still needs to be roadworthy, new tires, all the lights got to work, it's got to be safe-ish, as safe as a 1925 car with only rear brakes can be. So looking forward to that. We're going to keep picking at this one this summer, and I'd like to see plates on it by the end of the summer. The T, obviously, same thing. We put a lot of effort into the mechanical aspect of this car, and I've been enjoying it so much more as a beater than I really would as a restored car in its original condition with all of its body panels that it left the factory with. So kind of unique in that sense, not as a showpiece, but frankly, I think more interesting as a beater. Motorcycles can be beaters too. This is a daily driven 1972 Honda. Never been apart, engine's never been out. It's presentable, it's reliable, it's safe. There's no point taking that all apart and restoring it to perfection when I would just use it less. This lovely old Chevrolet, possibly a little too nice to be a beater, but it does go out and get driven. It's not restored, just a nice original car. Perfectly usable the way it is, and nothing to be gained by completely dismantling this thing and trying to make it perfect. It's perfectly enjoyable the way it is, and original cars at this age are getting pretty hard to come by, and I think the car is probably best left as is. This car's had a lot of hours put in and not really something I'm going to use as a beater, because I've got several that I can. So in my case, I like to have a couple of nice cars, and people say, oh, well, then, you know, you don't ever use them. Well, it's okay. I got 10 other cars that I do use. I get more pleasure out of this car looking at it in the garage in its nice, clean, and unused condition than I would by putting a bunch of miles on it. I just prefer to look at it this way, and I've got lots of cars I can drive if I want to. It's actually quite windy and rainy out today, so we'll have to film from inside here. This is the 1949 Fraser, car I put together 10 years ago, and I've been enjoying the hell out of it as a beater ever since. I guess we should talk about a good way to approach a beater project. First off, I would say probably best to decide that you're going to make a beater going in. And when I say beater, you say driver, whatever. A car that you're not going to be too precious about. This car was salvaged mainly for two reasons. In this case, I got a good deal on it, and the seats had already been done at some expense, and it was not rusty. Believe it or not, this car, despite its terrible appearance, is actually very solid. So when you take away the welding, and in this case the engine's never been out of this car. I don't think I've even had the starter out of this car. Here we have a great example of a car that could be made roadworthy with relatively little effort. It needed all the mechanical work besides the engine and transmission. It's had brakes and exhaust and steering components and whatever. I had to do the interior, but I did it with no concern about whether it was correct or whatever. It was just done for fun and done to make the car, you know, just not a mousy, gross, moldy mess. The car is very nice inside. It's actually kind of fun because once you're in the car, you feel like you're in a properly nice old car, and then the outside obviously looks terrible. We built this car over the course of a single winter and been enjoying it for 10 years. In my case here, there was enough missing and damage that I did end up with a couple of parts cars to help put this together. I would say that even to make a beater, it's nice to have a parts car. You can buy ready-made, ready-to-go beaters, I suppose. I've had very little luck with that. Certainly bought some cars that I thought I could drive, and then like that Citroën Traction Avant, and it turned out that it's nowhere near ready to drive. You can think of these as restorations without any of the tedious attention to detail. This car, I've been asked multiple times why I don't paint it. Well, if you were to paint this car and not do the weather stripping and not do the chrome and not do any of the other things that make a good car, then it just looks like a bad restoration, which is more or less what it would be at that point. So I prefer to just leave it as it is. I would rather have it like this than drive it around with a paint job on it and have people think that I just don't know what I'm doing. Here's another fun beater I've had for going on 30 years, I suppose. It's a 61 Plymouth. This is an example of a type of a beater where you can buy one that runs, needs some cosmetic work. Beaters can also be a great use of a car that is not worth restoring. In this case, a four-door sedan Belvedere with a slant six does not have a lot of value as a restored car. I mean, it doesn't have any value as a beater either, but at least I'm not into it for anything. I think I paid about $200 for this car in 1990, and I could probably get at least $200 for it today, so I'm not losing any money on this thing. This would be a monumental waste of energy to restore this car to anything resembling perfection. Cars like this are usually best enjoyed as nice originals. In this case, when I bought the car, I did do some welding and repaint it, and I've more or less tried to keep it out of the weather since, except today, of course. I've probably put 30,000 miles on this car, including some very long road trips with it. It's never really been any trouble. It's a great old thing. You know, a fun way to enjoy a classic car is buy an undesirable body style and do as little as possible to make it safe. It still has to be safe. It still has to have all the lights work. It's very helpful if it still has a good heater and whatever, because you're going to drive it in bad weather when your nice cars have to stay inside. Going down the road, it's still a lot of fun. You don't have to worry about it. You can park it in the parking lot. I'm 100% in favor of beaters. This just happens to be one that I bought when I think I was 21 years old when I bought this, so that was a while ago. You know, perfectly good. And if it gets a dent, they just hammer some paint on it. I've touched this thing up a couple of times. I hit a deer with the DS, and you just accept that that's going to happen. Certainly around here, there's a lot of that. So I just pounded the dents out and repainted the hood. Didn't get all worried about it. I think one of the biggest misunderstandings that people have when they start a car project is they think they want a restored car, but what they actually want is a beater. It's very important to go at these things with the understanding of what you're trying to do. And if you spend 2 hours polishing the screws that hold the glove box hinge on, you're probably not going to finish that car in a timely manner. I would say to people, build the beater, get it on the road, be having fun, and if you are still enjoying yourself, then start a restoration, because at least in the meantime, you got something fun to drive. That's what I've been kind of doing. Build something to drive and have fun, and if you're still into it, then you can start a nut and bolt restoration, and you won't resent the restoration nearly as much if you still have a fun car to drive. Funny enough, I bought my Citroën DS Safari Wagon as a parts car for a sedan that I'm restoring, and the sedan was completely torn down and gutted and not a screw left in the thing. And 20 years later, the sedan still isn't done, and I've been driving the parts car for 10 years. I don't resent the sedan. I don't look at it as a nightmare. I just think, well, meanwhile, I've still got a fun DS to drive, and one day I will finish the sedan, and meanwhile, that's the way she goes. Here's another fun beater, 1981 Renault 5. This car has been just a treat. I originally built it as a winter beater, which is a whole separate category. Winter beaters are cars that you're going to drive until they're finished. I started out doing this as a winter beater, but I just couldn't sacrifice it in the salt. These are getting hard to find, and I figured if I could keep it salt-free that it would last me for years, and so far it has. This car looks pretty good on the outside, and that's fine. Nice thing about beaters, if you can make the outside look good. 99% of the time, people can't tell a beater from a restored car anyway. I mean, this car, you get up close, there's obviously a lot of wear and tear on the interior. The car came from a very hot climate, and it has kind of cooked the seats and cooked the dashboard, and it's even cooked the windshield, which I can't believe. This is another car where I'm enjoying the beater, and the restored version sits in the garage and comes out a couple times a year. And it's great. I love driving this car. Pick one that you enjoy driving, because you're going to be driving it. And I've got some cars that look a lot better than they drive, and the Renault 5 actually is more fun to drive than to look at. And I just love it. And this is a particularly economical car with a 1.2 liter or 1.3 liter engine. It's fantastic on fuel. It's fun. It's unique. A generation of people younger than me have never seen one, so it's kind of a fun beater. Another nice thing about beaters is you can bring your dog with you everywhere. She's inside today because it's too rainy. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the beater video and have some food for thought there. Please leave us a comment and let me know what beater you're driving, and we'll see everybody on Saturday. We're going to keep going on the Roadster, and we've got a fresh new project at the GCFCE. I think you guys are going to like it. Anyway, we definitely have lots more of the... This is a regular contributor.
Same old shit.